Hello, and welcome back to our Gargoyles series where we go episode by episode, talk about them a little bit, rate them, and then kind of you can give our thoughts.
We both love Gargoyles.
We do.
We needed no excuse to go back and watch the episodes. We were like, fuck it, let's review them too.
Especially since I watched the entire series last year, and then we talked about doing it again. Like, fuck it, let's do it.
I needed little, I remember we were talking about, like, what can we do? We'll do this, we can do this, we can do this. And you're like, let's do a Gargoyle review episode. I was like, yes, yes, let's do it. Because I can totally watch these with my son, and if he doesn't watch them, then I'll just watch them when he goes to bed.
So I guess one of the fun things that we're going to run into in season 2 is when you're looking at IMDb. Mm-hmm. I think at some point in time they aired the episodes out of order of when they were produced.
That happened in this block of horror.
Because IMDb gives, here's 13 through 16. Mm-hmm. But that's not what it is. Watch the ones on Disney Plus. We're doing High Noon, followed by Outfoxed, followed by The Price, followed by Revelations. Mm-hmm. Which was episodes 13, 14, 15, and 16 as per Disney Plus. I meant to check the DVD. I didn't check the DVD to see if it came out that way. But I think that's how they aired.
I think The Price was
because September, October, November, whereas The Price is also October. So
yeah, The Price was the one that was out of sync.
Yeah. So I think it was aired where it would be episode 15. Mm-hmm. But I guess in the way it was produced, it was probably slightly different. But I don't know for certain, so I'm not going to speak with any sort of authority. Instead, let's So we rate them, then we talk about them, and we're going to be talking about mostly what's going on in the episode. Occasionally, small spoilers in the future. Mm-hmm. So I guess be warned, especially with I imagine when we get to Outfoxed. We're probably going to be talking about some plot points that relates to what's his name, not Varric, the boring Owen dude.
Yeah, the black-haired Owen.
Yeah,
I can't remember. It started with a V. Vance, or I don't remember.
Yeah, well, that's once I'm not thinking about it, it should come to me. Yeah. But some of the we're not going to go full on. Here's what happens next season, but we might drop like, hey, why is thing like this? And I'll answer the question if I say, hey, Lance, do you really want me to answer that? And he's like, yes. I'm going to answer it.
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah. All right. So I guess High Noon. Let's rate it, then let's talk about it.
Okay.
What would you give High Noon, which is the Demona, Macbeth, Coldstone episode?
I would give that one a 7.
Oh, so I rated it a little bit lower because as I'm learning, Coldstone ain't the most interesting thing to you.
He's okay. It's just,
he's not. He's not the most interesting.
Yeah, he's just okay. He's fucking Frankenstein gargoyle. How about you?
I give this one an 8. Okay. Just because I enjoy the Demona Macbeth hijinks, I suppose.
I knew. If it's a Demona centric episode, I'll start at 8.
But it's not always the case either.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Trust me, I got burnt on that one before.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a good Demona episode.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's just there's always the issues whenever you throw Demona up against Elisa. I mean, Demona should be winning all the time, but that's not. You can't do that. You can't have the hero just handedly beat the crap out of the hero in every single time.
That's true.
So like when she's a human fighting another human, like. She's got 1,000 years experience. She should be mopping the floor with her, but no, it's not.
She's not used to, fighting in that smaller, gangly fucking
and she's used to fighting
human body.
Used to, like, throwing her strength around or whatever. I mean, sure, there's reasons where you can, I guess, justify it, but still you should think, like, well, she's a warrior. She should be doing better than that. But still, it's fun.
I want to see her, get into a fight in her human form and then, like, twerk her butt real quick and you'd be like, oh, no tail.
No tail lash for you.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's this was a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
I like Fox. She's interesting.
Well, that's the next episode.
Oh, I mean, sorry.
You like?
Sorry, I got them turned around. I like Demona. Mm-hmm. I do like Macbeth. I thought the twist in this episode was kind of interesting.
Yep, where the Coldstone thing was all just smoke and mirrors for the real prizes.
Right. But I still don't know how they gathered them.
Well, remember the last one he gathered, which I think was the gate. They kind of show that he's putting it like in Goliath is putting it like in his vault in the clock tower or whatever.
And then, but I mean, like, they snuck it to the police station. The clock tower is not in the police station.
It is.
Is it? Okay. Then that part makes sense because like they kind of snuck in, they knocked her the fuck out, and then they dipped, and it was kind of like, you know, why did it happen that way? Like I couldn't put it together in my head, but like I guess that makes more sense that the clock tower is in the police station.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, why the fuck did they break into jail? And then, but I did like the whole, that you could tell she's a rookie because she's got the cuffs in front of him. And she was like, I got to go tell him. And he's like, go home and go to sleep. Like, I liked her relationship with that guy.
Yeah. I like him too. And he's mainly because he's also Keith David.
Hey, he's Keith David doing a white guy voice, basically.
He plays a black guy.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like Keith David is down here.
Yeah, well, I think he's specifically being a different character than Goliath, where he's doing his more kind of deeper, growly voice for Goliath.
Right.
And he's just kind of doing like a, hey, go on home, detective, doing like...
Yeah. He gets way the fuck up there, because you could tell it's him, but it's definitely like, if you're not listening for it, I think that you could be like, you know, who's that actor?
Yeah, is that Keith David? My guess is. Yeah. He's doing Morgan as the cop's name.
Just one time as Goliath, I want to hear him go, how'd you get the Franks above the beans? Or how'd you get the beans above the Frank? That was something about Mary.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever seen that movie?
I have, but once when it came out on like VHS.
Good, because I'm not gonna ask you to watch that one. But no, this was a good episode. I really dug it. Again, it was a wholly unique episode for the fact of they were working together as a team.
Yeah. And it kind of makes you like, why? Like, we just learned last episode. We had a 4-part series about how these people hate each other.
Yeah. And then they start working together, and you're just like, okay, what kind of tomfuckery is going on now? And then the turn. Like, I don't know how much we want to talk about some of the certain things. But
we can what's going on in the episode. So if it happened in the episode, feel free to talk about it.
Okay.
Because presumably you've watched the episode.
Yes. Yeah. I watched it. Jack and I watched it.
I mean...
Presumably you've watched the episode.
Yes, indicate to camera. Presumably you've watched the episode.
Yeah.
We will talk about things in the episode.
Yeah. But the girl, Coldstone,
Desdemona.
Okay.
So Coldstone is 3 gargoyles.
Right.
Othello, or Coldstone, Desdemona, and Iago.
Okay.
Those names are never said in the show.
Yes. My question is, there's a part that had Desdemona, and she looked like 3 different... And she had blonde hair, white hair, and black hair. Was that the Fates again?
That was.
Okay. They didn't... to me, they didn't make that very obvious.
It was, I think, the only way... Like, as a kid you grab or whatever, is later in the episode, they show Luna, Celine, and Phoebe again. Okay. To collect... Macbeth and Demona, and they're even like, well, what do we do about Coldstone? It's like, hey, he's fun. It's fine when he's free. Who cares? Yeah. So I think it was more of like, they're just, I don't know, they're Fae, and what are Fae doing is always kind of
fucking with things.
Yeah, it's as up in the air. So why free Coldstone? Because they didn't have to. They could have just let him be the Iago evil personality, and but they specifically went in and tried to pull him back to, I don't know, make all the personalities part of him again. Why? I don't know if it's ever explained.
No, I just think they like pulling on that whole string of like, you know, you have the one that's like honorable and wants to be a part of the gargoyles. You have the one that like loves the gargoyles and like misses them, and then you have the dick. But yeah, I dug this episode a good bit.
I like seeing the transformation, Demona's transformation on screen.
Yeah, that was cool. And I also like that she just didn't give a fuck and just did it in front of Elisa. And Elisa was like, it's almost daytime. And she's like, yeah, it is. And like turned into the chick. She's like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Oh, so when we watched The Mirror, Elisa did a little pose where she did like the little hand behind the head, like hair flip when she looked in the mirror. Demona does that exact same pose, which makes me think they were working from the same reference or whatever. Like after she transforms and she's like, what are you going to do about it, detective? She does that pose from that camera angle. And that's just something I always notice because like I like that, like Demona doing that little thing. And then when I was watching The Mirror again, I'm like, that's that Demona pose that comes up in like high noon.
Interesting. I did not catch that. I did catch her posing. Like,
yeah. I mean, why? it's again, I've watched this a few times, and I remember that pose. And a few months ago, whatever, when we were watching The Mirror, and that one came up again. I'm like, that really reminds me of the Demona pose later on. I wonder if they just, because I mean, you're animators, you're working from reference, probably working from the same reference, or even just working from like, I need reference of someone from behind. Here's this at least a scene. So there you go.
No, just put the cell over and just trace real quick. Yeah, no, they got to churn the stuff out.
Oh yeah, so it's 4 episodes a week.
Yeah, God, yeah. And some episodes we'll talk about when we get to it. But there was one episode this particular block that I was really impressed with.
Oh yeah, and it's I think it's upcoming. The Price, where the animation is like the facial animation is
top notch. Yeah. Oh my God. But let's finish with this one first.
But that's The Price. Whereas you like this one, the animation's good, but it's not like sometimes you can tell, you can see the studios essentially.
Well, it's like when the thing that I catch with the lower budget animation is like if Lexington's like, but Goliath, we got to get out there and get him, and he just freezes while like Goliath's doing his thing, you know. But like that episode, The Price, like everything, everything was fucking animated perfectly, and it looked so fucking good, and that's why I kept bringing up like I don't know if like blocks of the show are done by certain animation studios and other blocks are done by other like when
it's gotta be.
Well, when that episode came on, I said this is obviously an episode that's out of place, because I think when we get to that block, I'm wondering if all the other episodes around it look like that.
Maybe. I guess we'll have to wait and find out, because The Price is out of order. It's not, again, I don't know which order is the order, but on IMDb, The Price is episode 20. So it is 5 episodes shifted down, and then I think it kind of falls back into place again.
I'm going to trust what IMDb has, because usually it's monitored by other, somewhat hardcore fans of stuff. So,
but then you look and they didn't air episode 20 in October and episode 19 and 21 in November. It's the October in the middle of November. No, it's the way we watched it is the way it aired. It just might not be the way the showrunners were intending it to come out. Is going to be my assumption, I guess.
If you know better than us on that one, please put it down in the comments below. Learn us something.
Yeah. Is there anything else we want to add about High Noon?
The only other thing I really dug about the episode, because whenever I caught Desdemona when she had the different hairstyles, I was like, oh, those are the fates. And at the end of the episode, they're like, why are we working together? And they went to go kill each other again. And they're like, oh, we stopped them just in time. We could still continue our fun. Look at all of our new toys.
Yeah, you can only compel someone against their reason or whatever, against their nature for so long.
Yeah, that spell went to its fucking limit, and then they kind of realized that the Friends spell wore off, and they're just man, fuck you. I still want to kill you. But I also dug the bit of when she transformed, like Macbeth was like, "Oh God, Dad,
does it always hurt that much?"
I thought you said, does it always hurt that much?
A gift?
Yeah. That I thought that bit was really really good. But yeah, this was a great one.
Yep, I enjoyed this one. So I guess up next would be Outfoxed.
Outfoxed.
So I guess let's start guessing numbers for Outfoxed. I'm gonna go with this one.
Was this the airship one?
It was the airship one.
Okay, I'm locked in.
All right,
Nick, what would you give it?
I'm gonna give it a 7 because it's interesting. What about you, Lance?
I will give this one. I'll give it a 7.
No, yeah, I went low. Again, I went low. It's because this one's okay. Vogel is the guy's name. I told you when I wasn't thinking about it, I remember.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, where you got Vogel, Renard, and Fox, and Goliath. This is mostly a Goliath episode, where kind of he like learns that, hey, Airship 2 is doing its whole thing, and hey, last one got busted, but it wasn't my fault.
Right.
I got tricked, and it's kind of like, well, dude, you did it. Admit to it, and then.
Well, see, I don't remember the old guy's name.
Renard.
Yeah, I liked that guy. Mm-hmm. He looked fucking evil. Like, I get he's old and stuff like that, but like if...
long fingernails.
Yeah, but in the fucking, like, hawkish fucking figure and shit, he looked like the fucking, one of the Scooby-Doo villain that's like...
Oh, yeah.
Like,
he's got the Nosferatu Bento or whatever.
Like, if you just watched a still of that, were you like, good guy or bad guy? I think people have been like, bad guy, but he's obviously a good guy in the show because, like, he believes in honor and fucking, you know, taking account for, you know, what you do, like, taking responsibility. Like, I liked his character a lot. I liked how he was fucking grilling Goliath. I liked that he was challenging him and being like, you did the thing. It doesn't matter if you were tricked or not. You did it, and you're not owning up to it. And then finally Goliath was like, you're right. You know, I did kind of fuck you over, whether it was being fooled or not. He did the crime. I liked the lesson of he took accountability of it at the end of it.
Yeah, and then I also kind of liked it's like, you did it. You're a criminal. I'm gonna like hand you over to the authorities and like, look at me, bud. Like, what's gonna happen to me if you give me over to human authorities? I'm gonna be in a lab for whatever. Kind of be like that. Is what I did that bad?
Yeah, and that guy was, I think he just straight up didn't give a fuck.
No, he kind of figured it was just one of Xanatos' creations or whatever.
Yeah. It's another fucking flying monkey that Xanatos sent my way to fuck me over.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I really dug I wasn't crazy about the whole, like, AI stuff, like, you know, whatever.
And in our group, we refer to those things as having extreme robot noises.
Yeah.
Where every single step, every single we.
Well, that's Xanatos' suit too.
Yeah, you gotta like show that it's robotic, so you have to make every single action have some sort of robotic noise. Kind of too much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it goes into the realm of annoying, where like even if they turn around, it's like the fucking Robo guy from fucking Eurotrip.
Yeah.
But I really dug his character. I really dug the twisty twist at the end of the episode. I like that Fox is pregnant.
Yep.
I thought that was neat.
I like that. This whole thing was just kind of it's Fox's father. And like, dude, if you just wanted the company, like, if you didn't marry Xanatos, I would have given it to you. He's like, that's not fun.
Well, she even said, like, he said, one day when I pass away, you'll probably inherit it anyway. And she's like, that's no fun.
Yeah, I don't want it to be given to me.
Yeah.
I want to earn it.
I want to fucking take it from you. But like, it's a weird way of trying to take it from him. It's like, I crashed your $1 billion ship. I'm going to crash another $1 billion ship. It's like, where do you think the money goes? What are you inheriting at that point? If you just keep putting my fucking skyships in the ocean.
Well, I wonder if at that point in time she owns the name, and then she can sell the name and all the IP over to Xanatos Enterprises or whatever. Where you don't need the company, you need their intellectual property.
Why would you buy it? If I made plastic bags that constantly leaked and the bottom fell out of them, no one's gonna fucking want to take it. You sell the company.
Well, Xanatos needed that disc of robotics in order to get his steel clan up and working.
He got it.
That's what I'm saying.
What more is there to take from him?
Who knows?
So, I don't know. Maybe that'll be revealed in a later episode. But I did dig it. I did dig the twisty twist. I love that, you know, that was her father. I like that, like, she sneaks onto the ship and does the skivvy ninja thing into where he is. And then, you know, she pulls off the mask and she's like, hi, Daddy. Yeah. Like, I did not remember that part.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I did not remember that part. So that one kind of surprised me. But the thing I really loved about the episode was like basically Mr. I'm on the righteous fucking path realized he did not do something righteous. And I did like that he was like, you've taught me something today. It's a lesson that I won't soon, you know, forget. And he's like, you know, we're allies. And he's like, no, we're friends. And I like the way the guy was like, friends, you know? Like, so I'm looking forward to that guy showing up in more episodes. Like, God knows what the fuck he's going to look desiccated fucking corpse at that point, but
he's got at least one. I don't remember if he's got more than one, but he will show back up.
Fun fact: do you know who did the voice of him?
I did not look.
Robert Culp. He's an old school TV actor from the 90s or the 80s.
Okay.
And the only reason I know that is that when he started talking, I was like, I know that fucking voice.
Okay.
And then I was like, I think that's Robert Culp. Went and looked, and I was right.
Okay. I don't think I know stuff he's done.
I'm mainly putting it out there for that one motherfucker out there that's like a Gen Xer that's just like watching our things randomly and like, yeah, Robert fucking Culp, you know? Like, I knew saying it to you, you'd just be like, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I didn't look at the score or anything like that, but I did have to look that bit up.
Sure.
Because as soon as he started talking. I don't know what's going on with the Owen fucking lookalike.
Okay.
Is that also Puck?
Do you want to know?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Puck met him, said this is the most boring straight edge guy ever. Wouldn't it be hilarious?
And copied him.
Wouldn't it be hilarious?
Okay. Because that was
Yeah.
that was a bit much for me whenever he showed up, and I was like, does this guy not know he has a spy?
Yeah.
With a fucking bad for men fucking hair, slick going on or something. I thought that was weird because it's even the same fucking voice.
Yeah. It's the one that Puck based his persona off of.
Okay, makes sense. But like the guy's corruptible, but he still like loves his fucking.
Yeah, it's still enough to realize it. Like I wanted some money or whatever, but I don't want, like, this guy's always been nice to me. I don't want him to die.
Yeah. But, yeah.
So he shows back up and helps out.
Yeah, this was a good episode. This is one that I did thoroughly enjoy.
All right.
I like watching Goliath get served.
Yep.
And he totally gets served in this one.
Oh, yeah, he gets shot a lot when he's just flying up behind it and gets shot by the little flying drones, and then he gets in prison. He's like, a Goliath or a gargoyle doesn't whine, he roars and busts out and then gets shot down again.
Very impressive. And get in there.
I'm shaking.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, that part, it really made me laugh. I was like, this old guy's got the plan. But like those robots did fucking nothing. Yeah. Like they were just there to like basically throw the fuck around. And at one point he was like, we can't fight every robot in the ship. It's like, you kind of can.
Yeah, I guess it's just taking time.
Like, sure, but it's like, like nothing really did anything. Some of them would get like lucky shots off, but it apparently was nothing compared to the one he had in his chair.
Yeah. Well, prior to that, we see them beat the crap out of Goliath a few times. So
yeah,
they established that their lasers can at least take Goliath down.
Yeah, I wonder if you could actually see the little when they would walk next to each other.
Oh, probably not.
No, I would imagine not. But
I think that's
the virus spreading.
Yeah, for animation purposes, so you can see that something's going on.
Like nothing was doing its job at that point. It was like walking around, like it would get zatted, and it'd be like, "Oh, walk the fuck over here." It's like, how's that ship still running?
I was even like later on when the thing walks in and they're having a conversation, and it's like, does it always do that?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good episode. I thoroughly enjoyed the twisty twist on this one. But I think that's what I like best about this show is that it's a show for kids, but there's definitely a higher narrative going on. Mm-hmm. So it's a good one. Check it out.
Yep. All right. Up next being the price.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's time to pick a score. I think Lance might give the price. All right, Lance, you got your score?
I do.
What would you give it?
I would give the price a 9.
Ooh, I went high, but not that high. Because it's a Hudson episode. I figured you might enjoy the Hudson episode.
It's my second favorite episode. It's my second favorite character.
Yep.
I love me some Hudson.
And some Ed Asner. Yeah.
I love me some Ed Asner. And he's my second favorite character, only second to Lexington. But the animation, it was fucking beautiful.
No.
Shit!
Did you want to guess my number?
Yeah, no. Let's guess your number.
I'll give it a 7. Because I think this one's it's pretty enjoyable.
Damn.
Did you go?
I went wicked high on that one.
No, it's neat. I like it.
Yeah, it's
the animation indeed is like gorgeous.
So impressive. Like,
I wonder if it's a similar studio. Because remember the Macbeth episode where he entered Macbeth, and it was that they were constantly like moving, and it just kind of looked slightly off. Whereas in this one,
it's fluid.
It was more. Again, it seemed like they were constantly moving, but it was mostly like the face that was constantly moving. They were constantly like making facial expressions, and it worked a lot better than Enter Macbeth. So I wonder if they were like similar studios getting used to it, or if it's just another studio entirely.
All I know is that when they would like make turns and stuff like that, you'd see the fucking hair whip, the tail would whip. Like there was so much expression in their body and their movement in episodes for everyone.
Oh yeah, and like when the statue gets blown up and you like see Goliath rage, you see like the hair in the back like flutter in the breeze.
Stand up. Yeah. I was like, oh god, he's going Super Saiyan. They're fucked. Yeah, that was awesome. Like everything about this episode was enjoyable. Hudson, the thing they were doing with the skin. Like I love the line, I need some of your skin, you'll have the devil's own task getting it from me. And he's like, really? And then he just pops that drawer out and takes a little bit of the thing, and he's like, cute trick. Like I loved that. I love Hudson so much. I think he's one of the best fucking characters because he's just so witty and his wisdom makes him fucking amazing. Plus, if I remember correctly, this is the episode where they started off where seemed like he was teaching Broadway to read.
They've done it before, but they're continuing that storyline. Like, in fact, they established previously is you get to see them both, that they're learning how to read and they're coming along. And
okay. Yeah, actually, I think the one that started out with Hudson teaching Broadway to read was actually the first episode that we watched. Because I remember it's like, Elisa's so tired, she needs to get home and get some sleep. But that was the one where, like,
it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It's like, how did you read this one already? It's like, it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. It was, this episode was just, it was so good. I loved it from beginning to end. I loved how resourceful he was. Where it was like, you're nothing, Xanatos delivered, you're nothing without your dagger.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, Hudson was like, oh, okay, we'll see. And, like, took that piece of skin and fucking, oh my God, so good.
Yeah.
I thought the ending was weird.
What? In what way, I guess?
I need the entire day and I need the entire night for this fucking potion to, like, brew. And then he was like, grants our mortality. I wonder if there's a catch. And he was like, allow me, sir, and sticks his whole entire fucking fist in.
It's like, start small.
Yeah, just dip a fucking pinky in.
Yeah.
But, like, it's Puck.
Yeah.
Because I noticed by, I think it was the next episode, he had his hand back.
No. Well, again, I think this episode was probably meant to come out down here.
Because I do remember there was, like, a block for a while where his hand was like...
He's got a stone fist for forever.
Yeah, but, like, the next episode after this, because it was shown out of order, his hand was back, so I was like, he just did some fucking fey magic, and it was like, bibbidi-bobbidi-boo.
No, I think it's because the price is episode 20, not episode whatever.
Okay. That makes sense.
Makes it seem like the continuity is off, I guess, too. Which also at the beginning of this one, like, we just saw Macbeth. Mm-hmm. And then, like, when they see Macbeth again, he's like, oh, he escaped the Weird Sisters. I'm like, well, you, like, just saw him. Of course he escaped the Weird Sisters. And they got away.
Yeah. Yeah. They really need to stop doing that. They really need to stop airing him out of order.
And I think this is it.
You think so?
I think, if I remember right, this is the only one that's out of order. But
I hope so.
The way it is appearing on Disney Plus is the way it aired on TV as a kid. So I guess that's... As a kid, you would have just been like, that's weird. I guess it's... And then you'll see a stone hand for later on. Because he learns to fight with it, too.
Oh, I'm sure of that.
Oh, yeah.
Farewell, my enemies.
Yep.
What was
You'll have to do better than that.
You'll have to do better than that. And
then just laughs.
Yeah, the second he started talking, I was like, oh, yeah, that's a robot.
Yeah.
But, like, the way when he got busted up, that shit looked cool.
Oh, yeah. Like, he punches an entire hand through him and, like, his eye, like, and the eye pops out or whatever.
But, like, when he punched through him initially because he destroyed the Hudson statue, like, it looked like his spinal cord and guts were hanging out of his back, and he had, like, a sinister grin on his face. And, like, yeah, that shit looked fucking dope. Yeah. And, like, the entire time I'm watching the episode, I was just like, man... Why can't they all look like that? You know, like, if they did this for one episode, oh, God, I loved it from beginning to end.
This one's good. I do like this one. And a neat little moral lesson or whatever. It's kind of like, yeah, sure, eternal life. I mean, what's the catch? You're dealing with magic. It's not just like, hey, you bathe in this, you'll be young forever. It's like, no, it's going to turn you stone. I mean, you took stone skin from a gargoyle. What did you expect to happen? And it's kind of like after it happens, Zento's like, how literal.
I mean, what do you think would happen if you would actually skinned him?
Oh, I can put...
like a skinwalker.
I don't know. Probably nothing, because it's probably not asking for the skin of a gargoyle. It's asking for the stone skin of a gargoyle.
See, I don't know if they specified that. Like, I wonder if you cut the skin off of Hudson, threw it in the fucking stew, and then, like, whenever you dipped it in there, you would have Gargoyle Xanatos.
That'd be neat.
That would be neat. I'd be down for that. I'd watch that episode.
I think we learned that you learn that Hudson's older, because I think he says, like, over a century or whatever, because he says he's been alive for like a century. Which I think in expanded stuff it said that gargoyles age at half the rate of humans, because, you know, they're awake half the time and then they're stoned the other half of the time. So when you look at him and think he's probably like, what is he, 60? He's probably more like 120.
That makes sense. Yeah, he's a very wise warrior and tactician, so he's probably lived longer than most gargoyles. I'd like to know how he got that eye.
We learned that already in season 1 in The Thrill of the Hunt.
The hunter?
The Edge? No, that's not The Edge. Which one is it? Deadly Force. No, that's not Deadly Force. Enter Macbeth, The Edge, Long Way to Morning.
Okay.
That one when they were fighting the the Archmage, and he like zotted the stone and like blasted something near his face.
Okay, I didn't remember that.
It was the blast that made him realize, because he was a leader at that time. He kind of took the blast to the face after kind of essentially failing the quest. It was kind of Goliath and Demona who won the quest. He's kind of like, I can't be leader anymore. It was during that little outing.
He should have stayed leader. I like Goliath, but man,
you got to know when to retire. And retiring when you're a warrior means you're still a warrior. You just now you don't have to make decisions as a warrior.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like Goliath's like, we should go down there and do this thing, and Hudson's like, actually, lad, I think you should go in from the back and do it this way. And he's like, and then everything blows up in fucking Goliath's face. He's like, I should have listened to you, Hudson. It's he's literally. He's doing the best he can, and he's making the most honorable calls. But like a lot of his morals get in his way, but I do like watching him learn as a leader as the show goes on. He's not perfect.
Yep.
So this was a great one. I really loved this episode.
Is there more want to add to this particular one?
The only other thing I would add is, a lot of the banter in this episode was good. I think this is one of the better David Xanatos episodes.
It was good. And I especially like after Hudson breaks free the thing, it's like, I suppose you're going to smash my pot now, huh? And he's like, no, you make your choices for you as long as they don't involve me.
Yeah,
and even like when Owen is about to like call down the security on him, he's like, let him go.
Yeah.
He earned it.
Yeah, it's like Hudson kind of gave him a look, kind of like, okay, maybe you're not a complete and utter fucking douchebag. Like, I brought you here to serve a purpose. That shit didn't happen, and you won your freedom. You outthought me.
Yeah.
So just
It's good on you. You're free to go.
Yeah. It was two enemies kind of looking eye to eye, just being like, okay, we both played each other. Good job. All right, we're gonna dip. And I did like that. I like that aspect of the show. There's a lot of dickheads in the show, but at least there's like a sense of moral code.
Yeah.
So
Xanatos has never been. Is it the John C. Reilly thing? He's not a complete asshole, but not a total dick. Or he might be a dick, but he's not a complete asshole. What is that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm not sure.
It's from Guardians of the Galaxy. He quote, "I may be a dick, but at least I'm not a total asshole," or something like. If you know the quote, I can't conjure it to my brain, but at least I knew it was John C. Reilly, and it's Guardians of the Galaxy.
I just remember the guy in Guardians of the Galaxy going, "What a bunch of assholes!"
Yeah,
that's the only thing I remember. The guy who played the Tick.
Oh, was that who that was?
Yeah, I like that guy a lot. It's the same guy who also plays Pete. Oh, you asshole! Yeah, he's gone. Watch this one.
Yep, this one's good.
Because so far it's the best one of the season. If you like Hudson.
Yeah, I think The Mirror was this season, which is it might be my favorite in the show.
Which one was The Mirror?
The one where with Puck. Introduction of Puck and Demona kind of grabbing the mirror.
It's a good one.
And that whole shenanigans. I don't know. I like Faye shenanigans.
And Brent Spiner.
Yeah.
Can't beat Brent Spiner.
Yeah. So anything else we want to add about the price?
No, I don't think so.
Let's move on to the revelations.
Word. Remind me what this one was again.
That was with Captain Blue or Detective Bluestone learns about the Gargoyles' existence, and then finds the leader of or one of the leaders of the Illuminati. It's like, hey, tracks him down. I can't remember the Illuminati guy's name at this point in time.
Oh, jeez, what are you gonna give this?
Mace Malone.
Mace Malone.
Yeah. I think it was Mace Malone, right?
All right. Nick, what would you give this episode?
Yeah, 6. It's all right.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would give this one a 6.
Yeah, it's a Bluestone episode.
Yeah, I don't like Matt Bluestone.
Yeah.
Funny enough, he's voiced by Biff Tannen.
Is he really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's voiced by fucking Biff Tannen.
Okay. I don't even know if I would have noticed that going over it. Oh yeah, Tom Wilson.
Yeah.
I guess when I see that face, I guess it doesn't immediately come to me because he's the older. I guess I'm used to him from the '85.
Yeah.
Back to the Future, not like the ones that come on later. But yeah.
Yeah, it totally fucked me up because like when I was hearing him talk, I was like, I've seen that guy do plenty of interviews, and I've even seen his stand up. His stand up is gold, by the way. If you can find it on YouTube, it's really good. But the second he started talking, I was like,
that sounds so familiar.
make like a tree and leave, or make like a tree and get out of here, or whatever. Yeah. But like I was like, that's fucking Biff. Sure enough.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, this was a decent episode.
It's okay. I'm not super big into the whole Illuminati thing, but I guess the whole Hotel of Horrors thing. Some of the traps were kind of interesting.
Yeah,
and that was kind of fun. I liked Bluestone finding out about the gargoyles and like, hey, let me drive, and just driving real crazy. She's like, hey, cut it out. Like, they're not just like following me.
Yeah, he does the Superman shit where Lewis is like, I know you're Superman, and jumps into the fucking Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
Just to force Clark Kent to like basically save her. But like he does that shit, and I was like, what are you trying to prove? Because I loved when she's like, they're not always following me, and he was like, oh, I'm sorry. I guess they either were dragging him around like a kite or something like that the entire time. Yeah.
But I also kind of like that, they go up and like, we've got to meet him at night, so they kind of go up into the police station, whatever, and come out of the broom. Like those two come out of the broom's closet. Chavez sees them. It's like, oh, I guess you guys found each other, huh? It's like you don't see two partners coming out of a broom closet and just kind of go, oh, there you guys are. You're not thinking of like, there's some shenanigans going on here.
I bet that closet stinks right now. Yeah, no, it was interesting. Because it's the first episode where I kind of liked Matt. I don't understand why Elisa keeps him at arm's length.
Well, I think she even said it in this one.
She wanted to keep him to themselves. She
wanted to keep the gargoyles to herself.
Sure.
Because they made it feel special.
But it's like, that's your partner.
Well, I think it's kind of... The gargoyles were her partner. And now all of a sudden, she got this new partner because she got shot. And she didn't want it. And now it's kind of like, well, here's your... We don't think you can do it on your own. Here's the reminder that we don't think you can do it on your own.
Sure, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've never been a cop or anything like that, but I imagine if you have someone like watching your back on the street, you're going to want to make the best impression and be honest with them as possible. But also, you have a fucking partner that's just like Illuminati and rich people and blah. Yeah, like anyone listening to him talk for any length of time, because he always talks about the fucking Illuminati.
That's why he used to be FBI, and they're like, get out of here.
Yeah, like but I did not like the twist in this one.
Yeah, where it's kind of like his old partner was Illuminati all along.
Yeah, congratulations, Matt, you really impressed us. You're part of the Illuminati, and then like, yeah, and then he like hit the guy, and he's just like, okay, whatever, that's your one. But like, why bring him in? A guy that wants to tear y'all down so fucking bad. Yeah, he fucking flipped the tables on the guy. Mm-hmm. Like what's the play? I
don't know if they know that Bluestone turned on Mace or not. Because the only three people in that building were Bluestone, Mace, and Goliath.
Sure.
And they know that he showed up with Goliath and that Mace Malone failed somehow. They might not know directly that it is because Bluestone did it. Is my only thought of why you would go through all that and then still get him into the Illuminati. They might not know.
Okay, that makes more sense than what I was thinking, because I thought it was just like, oh, you had really good tactics and you're a really smart guy, so we're going to pull you in. It's like, no, this guy wants to fucking drag y'all down from the inside, and you're inviting him inside.
I might be making excuses, but that is my thought behind why would you still invite Bluestone? Well, only 3 people are in that building, and they even say, like, you're in there long enough, you kind of go mad. Mm-hmm. It's not like Mace is going to be... If they free Mace, I don't even know if they're going to. Mace is going to be like, Bluestone did it. He might just be like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs at this point in time. I
liked the end of that episode. One more door. I did dig the end of that episode with that part with Mace. I liked the fucking Hotel of Horrors. Yeah. It reminded me of the fucking guy, I forget his name, but it was like one of the prolific serial killers that had the murder hotel near the what was it, the World Science, whatever it was, I forget the guy's name, but he had a hotel where people would check into it, and it had like electrified rooms and fucking like rooms where you'd go in and he'd gas you and shit.
Like real or a movie?
No, it's real.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah, this was a dude that would like it was just we'll talk about it in some other episode.
Once you check in, you don't check out.
Yeah, it was. He would just basically just eliminate motherfuckers that were going to the World's Fair and stuff like that, because it wasn't too far from that. But yeah, it was okay.
It was, I guess, it's fine.
But
I'm not big on the Illuminati. I'm not big on Bluestone, but
and I'm not.
It was kind of fun seeing Bluestone and Goliath kind of pal around a little bit.
And I'm not big on the whole. Okay, I'm not big on the episodes that start at the middle and then let me work you up to here.
Yeah.
And then you finish out the episode. But the thing I did like about it was the way that he was narrating and everything was almost like a detective.
Yeah.
Old school detective.
Like the noir things or whatever.
Yeah. Like I was getting kind of a little bit of a like an old Humphrey Bogart kind of like detective feel to it.
And then kind of telling it that way, you could be is Bluestone crooked or not?
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, you're probably not gonna make the main character crooked.
No.
Or I guess he's only supporting. You're not gonna make him crooked, but maybe you would. In this show, maybe you do.
It's gonna take something big to make him turn. Like he's going to have to take down a friend to take down the Illuminati because that's his obsession. But for the most part, yeah, it was a decent episode. But Bluestone wasn't the character that made the episode good for me. I liked the hotel. I liked the idea of it. I liked how the guy was like, how the fuck did he get that key? And Bluestone's like, oh, he must have got it when I fell out of my pocket.
Dude, just let me down a slide. Probably fell in my pocket.
Yeah. But I also liked the thing where he was like, they went to the elevator and had the translucent wall, and they saw him coming up. When Bluestone fell, I loved how Goliath fell, caught his ass, and was like threw him up in the air, and he lands on Goliath's back. And when he starts crawling out again, you see the furrows of the claws and the feet when he stopped himself in the shaft.
Yeah,
I thought that was neat. But yeah, it was good.
I was just the old man Mace Malone falling, catching himself on an elevator cable. It's like, way to go, man.
Yeah, no, that dude had some hand strength.
Yeah. And they also kind of drop in this episode that apparently Xanatos is a member, but he's not like a high echelon member.
Yeah, he'd be one of the lowers.
Yeah, so Xanatos is in the Illuminati. He's not a big player in the Illuminati. Because Mace Malone's getting apparently rejuvenation drugs or something like that to keep him a bit more spry.
I think he said he was 120 or something like that. Yeah, that was kind of weird, but...
And after the Price episode, I mean, Xanatos needs to get some of them.
It's funny because I actually thought of that.
Yeah.
It was like I mean, why isn't he already cashing in on that shit? But who knows? Maybe Xanatos is 70. We don't know. Yeah,
but I think that's also why it's kind of like Xanatos is kind of like down here. Maybe you only get that stuff when you're up here, and he doesn't know about it.
I don't know. I rarely remember anything about the Illuminati. I feel like they drop it at some point.
I don't remember. I don't remember if this is the last one, but it's not a big thing. Yeah. And Bluestone gets tangled up in different stories, but I don't remember if those are more of the third season, which I guess is not canon. If you're like the comic books and stuff, ignore the third season. We'll still talk about the third season, but
it's a dope cover. I want to show it off.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the art.
I still need to go back and read them. I've not read them yet, and we're up to issue 5.
I went and picked up the first one of the old school looking cover, which I'm guessing is not related to this series. It's like a throwback cover. And I picked up the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th books, but I went to the comic book shop to try and find you a special edition cover because I knew that you had these comics, so I was trying to find them for you. And then I saw the art style and was like, I really like that, so I went ahead and picked them up.
Yeah, I've been going to the comic store and buying the one cover I like the most, which if there comes a month in which there's 2 Demona covers, I might end up getting 2. But otherwise, I'm not. I want to read them and kind of collect, but I'm not collecting 30 covers or whatever to try to fill out a I don't care that much. I just want to.
If anybody at these studios are fucking watching this episode, just fucking stop it with the covers. It's just.
It's predatory on your base.
It's super fucking predatory, and it's completely arbitrary which issues increase in value and everything else. It's the same fucking book with a different cover.
Yeah.
That was one thing that always confused me about okay, I say that, but I'm guilty of something. So Gen 13, old comic book that came out, they released the black box which had alternate covers. And those had high value at one time. I don't know if they still do. But I was obsessed with getting one of those black boxes because I fucking love Gen 13. Flash forward years and years later, I saw one online. I paid I don't know, $80 for it or something like that. But I finally had the covers. And then that's when this stone cold realization, it's the same fucking books. It's just different guts.
Covers, yeah.
Yeah, different covers, but the guts are all the same. So it's fucking super predatory, and, you know, when you make comic book shops order fucking 200 issues of a fucking comic book just so you can get that one cover that they can sell for like
a few dollars
$80 more. Yeah.
And every time I've gone to the comic shop, I mean, I enjoy Gargoyles. Mm-hmm. Some people are obviously buying them, but they still got like 2 stacks of all the other ones they've ordered. So I don't think a certain audience is definitely vying for Gargoyles to return. It's not an en masse thing where you should need to be ordering
500 issues of a comic just so you can get that 1 in 500 cover.
Yeah, or whatever it is. That's crazy.
It's super predatory, and I do not like the way like comic books are going these days, because like I'll see a cover of one of them I like, and I'm like, oh, I really like that cover. Then when you go to the comic book store, there's like 18 other different covers, but you can't find that one.
That's why I don't want to look and see what covers are available, because I'm just going to go to the store and buy the issue. And knowing that they don't have the cover I like makes me feel like I'd be missing out. So I just don't look into it. Don't worry about that shit. It's not that important.
And that's how they get you. Mm-hmm. You're missing out on the cool fucking cover. You got the okay cover. It's all right. Like, that cover's fucking dope.
That one's good.
But like what I was looking at whenever you brought it over initially is sometimes they would have on the front of it 01, and then it's like it would say cover B.
That's
cover
one thing
C.
I don't like about it. They don't even put the month on that stuff anymore.
Yeah, no, none of that is there.
Because I log which comics I get into my like little Excel program, just mainly because there would come a time and it would go, do I have this issue? I want to be able to pull up my sheet and be like, no, I've got this one. Because there's been a couple times in which I'm like, oh, I didn't know this one came out, and I go home and I've already got it. So I started writing that down so I would stop doing that.
The only comic book I've recently done that with was the TMNT, The Last Ronin comic book. Mm-hmm. Like, they released several versions of each cover. I even went so far as to pick up, because that storyline was like doing so hot, that I went out and bought every fucking cover of that I could find.
Wow.
And I even bought the comic book shop incentive comic, where it was like, it was an apology comic that the studio like sent all the comic book shops because they were so far behind in like their release.
Wow.
But it like had like this crazy crimson like lettering on the front, and I called Soundwave, and the guy was like, "Yeah, I have it for $300." And I was like, "I'm not paying that."
No.
And then I called Captain Lou's, and he was like, "I'll sell it to you for $120." And I was still like, that's a lot of money. But then I started going online and looking, and people were selling it for like minimum $500.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, this would be an investment. So I went ahead and bought the fucking thing like an idiot. And then it came right down in fucking price. That's what happens every single time. When it's super fucking rare, it shoots through the fucking roof. And then when it becomes like something that floods the market, they do it every fucking time, and I fall for it every fucking time. I'm the worst fucking collector in the world, and I've only been doing it since I was 12. So I fucking suck at that too. But anyways.
Yes. So anything else about Revelations?
No.
All right. I think we can wrap this one up.
Yep.
And I don't know if the issue or the episodes that are listed next are actually what's going to occur next.
So I know the episode with Thalog's coming up.
So that's Double Jeopardy. So hopefully Double Jeopardy upgrade protection in the cage should be the next time. Well, I guess episodes 16 through 19.
Yeah.
If you're watching on Disney Plus along with us, 16 through 19 will happen next month.
No, we're watching them in the Disney order.
Yes. And then after that, we'll get another 3-parter. Ooh, and that's a good one, too.
Which one is it?
Avalon, parts 1 through 3. That's good. I like that one.
Guessing it's dealing with the Fae.
That'd be a good assessment. So I guess join us next month for another 4 episodes of Gargoyles.
Or don't.
But please do.
Please do.
Please do. I mean, if you watch this far, might as well keep going, right?
Yeah.
Listen to a couple old guys pine for the past.
Yeah. And like, grab a friend and just be like, look at these 2 fatties talking about a kid show. Like, help us.
It's at least a good kid show.
Yeah, it's a very good kid show. And we're happy you're here.
Yes, we are. All right. Well, bye, everybody.
Yeah, go do something.